have a new California rivalry on our hands as Monterey Bay FC and the Oakland Roots meet for the very first time in front of a sold-out crowd at Laney College here in Oakland, California. Alongside Eric Dobransky, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you along with us this evening on ESPN+. Both teams enter with losses in their first two games. Eric, who might Oakland turn to in order to get things back on track?
And really, for both teams, they're searching for an identity on both sides of the ball, both on the attacking side and defensively. For Oakland Roots, they're going to turn to Formella, who scored in their previous matchup, their loss against Memphis, a late goal in the 81st minute. He's gotten the 2 starts thus far. No stranger to the Western Conference. 51 appearances for Sacramento Republic, 17 goals, so he'll definitely be an attacking threat for Oakland.
For Juan Guerra, he moves Formella around the formation a bit, feels he's best up top as a target man. We'll see how that goes tonight. On the other side, Arun Basulovic leads the way in shots for Monterey Bay FC. No goals to show for it yet, but a chance tonight in the starting lineup.
And for Monterey Bay, it's going to be Basulovic that's going to be the glue for this team and really going to link this back line to this front line and really create and be that, that link for everybody in that final third and really creating opportunities for them.
They're coming off a 1-0 loss against Colorado Springs after a 4-2 loss in the opener. Now you look to the creativity in the midfield for Oakland. Who's going to get Derek Fruella the ball? The answer, Charlie Dennis.
And Charlie Dennis is one of those players that continues to grow in the attacking moments. He's going to join, he's going to create numbers, he's really going to release some of that dangerous space for his teammates, creating 4 dangerous chances thus far in the season.
And then on the other side, Sekou Kone has the goal for this Monterey Bay side against Phoenix, the lone player in the lineup with the goal this season, with Revelar on the bench tonight.
And again, for Monterey Bay, it's going to be about creating chances. With both of these sides, they've both conceded goals in the first half, with Monterey Bay conceding all 4 of their goals in the first half, and Oakland Roots conceding all 3 of theirs in the first as well.
It's tough to throw around the phrase must win this early in the season, but with tough schedules ahead for both Monterey Bay FC and the Oakland Roots, both 0-2 tonight against each other in a new California rivalry, it might be must-win territory. We're back in a moment on ESPN+.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, hey!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
I'm really excited to be a part of EBCE because of all the opportunities it'll offer me to save money.
I was surprised to find out that I could actually have a choice about where my energy comes from.
Thanks to EBCE, our kids are going to have a clean planet to live on when they're older.
I need the power to work in my studio. Of course, I'd love to be able to use more renewable energy.
We now have choices, and I'm happy to choose East Bay Community Energy as my source for local clean power.
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross. User testing, Credit Karma, UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital, and Coca-Cola. And we take a look now at the starting lineups for both teams, beginning with the Oakland Roots. And tonight's starting lineups are brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. It's a 4-2-3-1 for head coach Juan Guerra as they look for their first win of the season.
And it features 3 changes from their last matchup, their loss against Memphis, with the addition of Mafika, Azokar, and Morad. And really, we highlighted Dennis and Formella in the open, but look for Mafika, and then especially Azokar coming out of the back, his ability to join in the final third from that outside back position. And then Monterey Bay, same, 4-2-3-1. So again, the matchup with both of these sides is going to be in that midfield battle. 3 changes as well for Monterey Bay with Martinez, Gleedle, and Boone.
Deshaun Beard ready to get us going. First meeting between two new potential California rivals. Not going to call it a rivalry yet. Juan Guerra of the Oakland Roots said there's obviously no bad blood yet between these two teams, but depending on how intense things get tonight, that rivalry can very quickly organically form. We're underway in the first ever meeting between Oakland and Monterey Bay here from Laney College. A sold-out crowd tonight at Laney.
These opening exchanges are going to be so important for both teams. As I mentioned in the open, all of the goals conceded by both of these teams have been in the first half.
Boone gets it to Gleedle. Ranging forward for Monterey Bay in front and cleared. Early danger opportunity for the visitors. Hugh Roberts, the former Charlotte Independence man wearing the captain's armband, comes through with it. And now here's Charlie Dennis. Patient with it. Back for Matias Visore. Tonight wearing the captain's armband for the Oakland Roots. Joined the team last year. His first year in the United States after spending his entire career in Argentina. They missed him in the first game against RGV. Made a big impact last week in his return to the lineup. And glad to have him right where he belongs in the middle of the park. Juan Guerra missed him in that first game. Eduardo Rito also missed that first game. Started the last and here again tonight. Juan Guerra believes tonight's starting 11 is what he envisions as a starting 11 going forward for the Roots, as long as players remain healthy and continue to perform when given the opportunity. This was his ideal 11 before the season began. Injuries, COVID, did not allow it to take the field in either of the first two games.
And you mentioned it earlier, it's far too soon.
Threw it to Formella, flag stays down. Touch took him away from goal. Mafeka swings it to the back post. Opportunity gotten by the wayside for the Roots.
It's far too soon to really say this game is a must-win. But for Oakland, you look at their last matchup with Memphis, they outpossessed Memphis, they outshot Memphis. It's really about converting those opportunities. And as you mentioned, this is the lineup that they really saw going into the season as the most effective and
around the right side, Maury Donor. Maybe the second effort after it was initially blocked down by Danny Barbier. Donor wins a corner out of it. Barbier's season ended right here last year when he was with Sporting Kansas City, and the Roots won on the final day of the season to make the playoffs. Now James Murphy out to take the corner. Just signed in early February. Murphy over everybody. He spent the last couple of years with RGV, a year in Scotland before that. Plenty of experience for Murphy in this league between RGV and Vegas further back in 2018. Charlie Dennis not happy with something on the far side of the field. Deshaun Beard over to maybe clear something up. Motar, there's Carlson, Aloni from Venezia over in Italy. He missed the first game as well. That's a theme. A lot of players for this Roots squad missed that first game against RGV. Back for the second game against Memphis. Juan Guerra felt they were incredibly unlucky to lose that game 2-1. But in chatting with him this week, he said while the result was disappointing, the performance is most important for him. If you perform like that every single game, you're going to win and tie a lot more games than you lose. So wants them to replicate what they did against Memphis, just felt they were unlucky in the end.
Yeah, both results, 1-goal losses. And again, early on in the season, so really just trying to build that foundation and really keep developing and growing. But you just don't want to fall too far behind.
Also Carr to Rito. Eduardo Rito still battling for it.
As you mentioned, Oakland Roots made that late push last year to take that 4th spot in the Pacific Division. Ended up falling 6-5 in PKs to the eventual champions, Orange County.
A couple of familiar faces on the other side tonight for the Oakland Roots organization. Kai Green was a mainstay at center back last year. And then Walmer Martinez was one of the first products to come through Project 510, which the Roots are a big part of. Both in the 11 tonight for Frank Yallop and Monterey Bay. So many career stops for Frank Yallop, very experienced coach, now in charge of a new challenge as he brings this expansion side into USL Championship.
Just continues to be exciting what the USL Championship continues to do. The organizations and the fan bases, they continue to add with the addition of Monterey Bay, the addition of Detroit City FC.
Robinson, good crossfield pass, finds Donor. Over for Gleedle. Cutting in on Aso Carr, well defended. Aso Carr loves to bomb forward when he can. Typically a winger, now on the back line tonight as Wangara experiments with a couple of things, like the way Aso Carr looked down that left side in the Memphis game as they switched after halftime. Now he has to get back, drawn out of position. Here's Boone, inside to Kone. Back for Boone, terrific! Chase Boone silences the Oakland crowd and puts Monterey Bay up 1-0.
What a strike by Boone. And clearly, Monterey Bay has seen something that they like in regards to attacking out of that right side, that right flank here early on. They've continued to send services into that right flank. That hold-up play there, and then allows Boone to join the attack there. And just absolutely no doubt about that left-footed take there.
Boone struggled to crack the lineup with San Diego last year. Only 8 appearances in 2021. Might feature more prominently here in this organization. And if you keep scoring like that, it'd be hard to keep him out of the lineup.
Yeah, and he's one of the 3 changes in Frank Yallop's 11 tonight. And already early on, proving that that decision was correct.
Now the other way, a chance for the Roots. Mafeka, the flag goes up on Lindo Mafeka. Attempting for a quick response after again conceding in the first half. As you noted, it's been an issue for both of these teams.
And now Oakland Roots has now conceded 4 goals in 3 matches in the first half. For Monterey Bay, their matchup against Phoenix Rising, they had conceded 4 times in the first half. The result ended 4-2.
Looking for more early on. Donor. Back for Basulovic. Picked him up from Oklahoma City. Nice bit of interchange, but the flick from Boone, too heavy in the end. Chance for Mafeka to break out. Tried to get it toward Otar Magnus Carlson.
And there is something there on that right flank that Monterey Bay is finding as an advantage, whether it's just challenging Azokar as a defender, because clearly characteristics and attributes, he's typically been an attacking presence. So does Frank Yallop and his side really want to make sure that Azokar's got to stay back and really defend more than join the attack?
Ten minutes gone, Roots in a hole. Monterey Bay. Terrific start on the goal from Chase Boone. Nothing that Benny Diaz could really do about it. Laser beam, top shelf.
And you're absolutely right. There was nothing that Benny Diaz was going to do about that left-footed strike by Boone.
Over the top toward Carlson. Battle of the Diaz's in goal, as you pointed out. Benny on the Roots side and Rafi on the Monterey Bay side.
And for Oakland, just continue to be patient. That goals change games, but early goals, don't let those change what your game plan is and what you're looking to execute.
But how quickly does the mindset have to change? Whatever plan you had 12 minutes in, down a goal.
It did, and just looking at the adjustments of Monterey Bay, really attacking that right flank and looking for services.
Again, down that right side to Boone. Now Kone turning, trying to find it underneath Visore.
Kone already making his presence known here early on with the hold-up play, really finding good pockets of space to operate in. Right in front of those Oakland Roots center backs.
Sekou Kone spent last year in Iceland. Prior to that, plenty of time in USL with Philadelphia Union, Las Vegas Lights. Played under Frank Yallop when he was with Las Vegas, part of the reason he brought him in, of course. And it was Kone's hold-up play on the goal, laying it back to Boone. That set it up. Dangerous through the middle from Diaz. Intercepted by Azokar. Formella looking back for Azokar. And Kai Green, as he did in an Oakland uniform so often last year, clears it away. A look at the injury report tonight brought to you by UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital. Only Nico Lemoyne out for Oakland Roots. Here's Azokar. Run coming up the right side from Rito. Not enough on it. Tonight's kickoff was presented by User Testing. Real-time feedback from real customers wherever you work. Visit usertesting.com to learn more. And a free kick on the way for Monterey Bay.
Again, Kone is doing a tremendous job of working off defenders' back shoulders, finding new space. You saw him throughout that sequence. He dropped in, collected the ball, and then really instigated play there. And ended up earning his team a set piece here. Really has been quick transition from both teams thus far. Monterey Bay, as of right now, just getting better numbers forward in those moments. But both teams do seem to be a little off in terms of the build-up through the back. A little out of sorts, a little out of rhythm.
Kone into the wall. Corner on the way for Monterey Bay. Quarter of an hour gone. With Eric Dobransky, I'm Joe Malfa. Glad to have you with us this evening on ESPN+. Sold out crowd for the Roots. They were expecting a near record crowd for here at Laney College, going back to their days in Nisa. Try to get you official word if they do cross that number, but however many there are in the stadium, there was silence on the early goal. Scored by Chase Boone. Monterey Bay bidding for more perhaps from the corner. Murphy swings it in. He'll have a second effort at it. Headed centrally, Roberts takes it down. Taken in the corner by the goal scorer, Boone. Working on Barbier, floats it toward the back post. Roberts was open, but couldn't hit the target.
Oakland needs to be careful to not concede the second and really put themselves in a hole. Boone has been very active. First, his left-footed strike, putting his team up 1-0. And that left-footed service, almost finding Roberts there.
Nothing to do so far for Rafi Diaz. Asokar. Magnus Carlson lays it back for Jose Hernandez, who has not been on the ball nearly enough for the Roots, at least not as much as Juan Guerra would like him on the ball. Finds a pocket of space though now. Formella. Lofting it down the right wing. Long run for Rito. Couldn't get there. Grant Robinson clears it through the middle, almost gave it away. And Maury Donor plays out of it. Ahead on the lead pass for Gleadle. Here's Gleadle in space. Boone calling for it, top of the box. Fizzed across and headed away. Here's Basulovic. Back for Kai Green. Gleadle through to Kone. And guided out for a corner kick.
Monterey Bay has looked incredibly confident here in the first 18 minutes. Really playing on that front foot. Comfortable and composed, playing out of pressure.
Murphy positions it again. Swings it in, headed away. Back in the corner for Green. And he's offside. Guerra wants this team to enjoy the ball, be in possession, swing it left and right to open those channels through the middle. Here's Asokar trying to exploit the left channel, and he earns the first corner of the match for the Roots. Powered by East Bay Community Energy, providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more.
And those are going to be the situations and sequences that Oakland wants to see more often and consistently, is Asokar, the ability to join in,
Dennis from the corner drives it in. Comes out for a shot that ends up over the crossbar from Matias Visore.
You can just see the intent that Monterey Bay has when Azokar joins the attack there for Oakland. They immediately want to play out and find that right side, pull some players out of position.
Right now, Monterey Bay in the middle of a very lengthy road trip as they make final preparations on their home field. 7 on the road to begin. Frank Yallop's target was 10 to 11 points, if at all possible. None through the first 2 games, but in position to get 3 so far in the third. Out for Rito. Visore dropping deep.
You do see Oakland growing into this match. A little bit more comfort for Azokar. Overlapping, joining Rito, same thing. The ability to add numerical advantages there in the final third.
Dennis spots Carlson, the flag goes up. But they're making a concerted effort to get the ball in his direction now, Eric.
They are, and for Oakland, it's just about that final piece there. The buildup has been good. They've been called offsides a few times thus far, but they are really stretching this Monterey Bay back line.
Nine caps for Iceland for Carlson as he flies through to try to block that clearance attempt. And he has scored twice for his nation. Up his way again, intercepted. Tarek Murad back in the center of the fence for Oakland. Lost his job due to an injury last year, and Kai Green, coincidentally on the other side tonight, took it and ran with it. But Murad back in the fold again for the Roots, now fully healthy. Formella. Look how far Benny Diaz is up. They want him to be a part of the attack with his feet. As you see what the MO is right now for Oakland. Swing it left and right, try and open things up in the middle.
And this patience, as you see Visore all the way back, the patience really allows the numbers to keep growing. And you've seen their ability to unlock dangerous space on a service with a clipped-in ball from right to left.
Diaz launches it. Comes over from Sacramento Republic. Uneven goaltending situation for Sacramento last year. Diaz never really found his way. Dallas J also brought in for Monterey Bay, looking to compete with Diaz. Jay spent the last couple of years in USL League One, won a championship with Greenville Triumph, and twice the goalkeeper of the year. Hernandez.
I would dare to say that you have two teams that are very ambitious with what they want to accomplish this season. especially for an Oakland team in their first season in the USL Championship. Making the playoffs last year, making that run, and really stacking a lot of positive results towards the end of that season last year.
And can Monterey Bay be that mirror image this year? They have a lot of USL veterans in the fold, similar to how Oakland built its roster last year. Yes, they were growing pains at the beginning, but a veteran team grew into the season and made that run. Here they are again coming forward on the attack to the left side, and Walmer Martinez already up a goal looking for more. But look no further than their opponent tonight as far as what Monterey Bay could be this year if all goes right.
You're absolutely right, and that's the roadmap. And it's just proven because there's moments in the beginning of last season for Oakland that they got off to a bit of a slow start. They were still trying to find their identity, what they look like in the attacking phases and the defensive phases. So for Monterey Bay, and you've seen a team right now that's playing with a lot of confidence, playing on that front foot, creating a lot of dangerous moments. And it's a really good mix of young players and as you mentioned, those veterans of the USL Championship.
Here's Boone. Now Galito, overlap coming from Donor. At the end line, put in front, and the whistle because the ball was just over the end line for a goal kick. They have the veteran players. They have a couple of younger players. But what Monterey Bay is looking to capitalize on are those cast-offs that didn't really fit in elsewhere, like a Chase Boone, who has the goal, who only played 8 games last year for San Diego. Walmer Martinez showed a lot of promise last year for Hartford, 19 games, 2 goals and an assist, but they didn't bring him back. Those type of guys who are on the younger side as well, giving them a second chance after the first go-around in USL didn't really click for them.
Yes, and players that have something to prove and really possibly play with that chip on their shoulder. And you see it with the tremendous strike by Boone, putting his team up 1-0.
On the ball again.
You just have to believe that Frank Yallop and his team had a belief that Azokar was going to start at outside back because of what they saw possibly in the previous match with Memphis. And they made it a very purposeful plan to ask a lot of questions of Oakland's left side, attacking through Monterey Bay's right side, because they continue to overload that side with numbers. They're getting really good services off. The ability to drive almost to that end line every time. And really for Azokar, it brings into question, how much do you want to go forward? You know, the moments to attack, you start to question how far, because you know that you're going to have to transition really quickly.
How do you neutralize a left back that likes to get forward, score a goal in behind him in the first 10 minutes of the game?
Yeah, that'll bring a lot of questions into mind.
Quickly taken free kick. Here's Formella on the right foot. Waited a heartbeat too long. Good idea from the Roots to take the free kick quickly. Nearly paid off.
And that's about the second time that Oakland's had an opportunity in the final third inside the 18-yard box that it just seems that the ball either gets stuck underneath their foot, that they're not able to complete the shot or at least challenge Diaz.
Roots Fam 4-pack tickets start at just $80. Call 510-488-1144 or visit us at oaklandrootssc.com. Lidl, well defended by Azokar. Green directing traffic. Hits one over the top. Finds Lidl. Kone. So good with his back to goal. We've already seen it a couple of times now. Nearly led Lidl through.
And you could see the presence of Kone throughout this first half, and just his teammates' ability to work off of him when he gets the ball at his feet.
Now Boone. Handball against Mafeka. KTVU Plus is the official television partner for Oakland Roots road games. KTVU Plus is also your home for Fox 2 News at 7 p.m. live and local every weeknight. Half an hour gone here at Laney College with Eric Dobransky. I'm Joe Malfa. The goal scored early on by Chase Boone on an absolute stunner with the left foot from out of the box. Laser to the top corner, nothing Benny Diaz could do about it. That's the difference right now.
And what Monterey Bay continues to do well in this first half is their ability to break pressure with one pass, break through lines, and really release their attackers. We talk about Kone, talk about the goal that Boone scored. Murphy's been a tremendous presence thus far. Gleedle, really haven't even mentioned Martinez here in this first half as well.
Here's Formella, has the lone goal on the season for the Roots. Now Rito, deflected, powers through with it anyway. Rito, out for a corner kick. Another one brought to you by East Bay Community Energy.
Really good effort there by Rito. Earning his team a corner kick, and these are gonna be moments for Oakland that they can look to find an equalizer. They have those players that have tremendous presence. Carlson, Formella.
With the crowd around Benny Diaz and the wicked left foot of Charlie Dennis, I've seen him do it before. Would not be surprised if he tries to go for goal on this one. Look at the crowd around the keeper. Rafi Diaz, rather. Getting my Diaz's confused, sorry. Diaz is at both ends of the field. Dennis flicked on off the crossbar.
What a clever taken corner kick here. And just as you mentioned, Dennis really shaping that left-footed service in just for a slight deflection.
Monterey Bay gets away with one there. The initial header from the Roots player, but then Hugh Roberts got the next touch to it off the crossbar. Just an unusual play. I can see where the referees had the mix-up in there. Boone into space for Gleedle, being chased down by Barbier, as Donor back as an option as the assistant referee loses his footing. Back for Gleedle. Good service. Better clearance by Murad. Dennis sprays it out wide. Finds Mafeka, rather Rito looking for Mafeka in the middle. And another corner on the way for the Roots, brought to you by East Bay Community Energy. Visit ebce.org to find out more.
And if Monterey Bay is going to continue to commit numbers to that right side, that's the kind of direct service that's going to really unlock some dangerous space.
Dennis from the corner at the back post and almost in. It was there. Formella couldn't get it on frame.
And executing the same corner kick they just had a few moments ago. Dennis whipping in that service again. That front post run. All they're looking to do is add a little flick on there, and it looked like Formella just had to guide that into the back of the net. He seemed to be wide open there on the far post. So far, both of those set pieces by Dennis were very dangerous.
Something Monterey Bay might have to be mindful of going forward. The danger that has been displayed by the Roots from the corner. 10 minutes to go in this first half. Benny Diaz playing it out of the back.
And for Juan Guerra and his Oakland Roots side at halftime, it's just going to be the questions of, do you keep Azokar there at left back? Do you play him higher up the field? Because it is absolutely clear what Monterey Bay is trying to do. They're inviting him to join the attack from the Oakland side, but they're very purposeful with trying to find Gleedle in that transition moment, that counterattacking moment.
That one will make your heart skip a beat on the Roots bench. Benny Diaz, noted for being good with his feet, almost just lost it. Now Reno down the right side, a chance for the Roots, and it's kept in, well defended by Grant Robinson, not to concede the corner somehow out of that.
With as many questions as I'm posing for Oakland on that left side with Azokar, Rito has done a tremendous job of joining.
There's Azokar.
And it's really finding that balance between joining in those dangerous moments and that still transitioning defensively. Because there's no question that Azokar is joining the attack. It's just that counterattacking moment from Monterey Bay.
Carlson, Otar Magnus Carlson battling for it still. A penalty is called. The ball was chipped up about hand high. Was it a soft one at first look? Perhaps, but we'll need a second look at it. Monterey Bay FC very upset with the call.
You did think for a moment that it hit the hand of a Monterey Bay defender, but there was really nobody from Oakland appealing. As you see, it really just deflects itself into green.
That's one that will leave Monterey Bay FC scratching their heads a bit.
And now on the replay, you do see Dennis appealing for the handball, but besides that, you really didn't get any argument from Oakland.
The wording of that rule has been changed in the last couple of years, where if it deflects up off another body part and then hits the hand, it's a gray area. Well, this one goes the Roots' way, and it's Otar Magnus Carlson from the spot. The Icelandic international, 9 caps for his country with 2 goals. Looking for his first goal in an Oakland Roots uniform on loan from Venezia. Carlson tucks it away. 1-1 here in Oakland.
And what a confident approach there by Carlson. Equalizing for his team. And again, just an unfortunate moment for Monterey Bay and Kai Green. Just taking the slightest deflection and hitting off that left hand, but now it was on Carlson to go ahead and bury his penalty.
Sometimes that's the break you need.
And for Monterey Bay, you're gonna feel that that's a tough handball call there, the penalty, especially for as well as you've played throughout this first half. And
sent back down the other way right off the kickoff. That goal is a $510 donation to Rising Sun, brought to you by EBCE. Rising Sun is a premier nonprofit organization working at the intersection of economic equity and climate resilience. 1-1 in Oakland. Will that be the spark the Roots need to go and get more? They've gone down in each of their 3 games. The first one remained a 1-0 loss. They battled back in the second one after going down 2-0 to lose just 2-1. Now leveling things at 1 goal apiece here.
Really bringing this crowd back into it as well. Tremendous atmosphere.
Still scoreless in the other couple of games going on right now in the Western Conference. Las Vegas Lights 0-0 with Memphis at home, and Phoenix Rising 0-0 at home against San Diego. Bitter rivalry there. Here's Asokar. Visore up to Asokar. Ever since the half an hour mark, we haven't really seen much of the ball for Monterey Bay in the attacking half, but an interception like that can change that in a hurry. Boone looks over the shoulder, sees he has space, sends it back down the wing to Martinez. Here's Walmer Martinez. Rather, Grant Robinson getting forward. And too much on it. Just as it seemed like there might be some promise for Monterey Bay as they try and respond from conceding the goal. It goes away on the turnover.
And you mentioned it just a minute ago. Does this goal really just fully shift the momentum towards Oakland? Because as you mentioned, other than the goal by Boone, there was a really good service by Boone as well that almost found the end from Roberts. But besides that, and again, Gones still continue to be dangerous and really asking a lot of questions of the two center backs for Oakland. Oakland's starting to find its own success with Rito out wide, Mafeka.
Good hold-up play by Boone. Still with it. Has Kone out in front. Boone inside. Basulovic. Good idea. Didn't quite come off, and that select ball goes bouncing down the track here at Laney College. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of USL Championship. Choose what you play at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select League's choice, player's choice. Lidl for Donor. A lot of room down that wing by Asokar. Donor puts it in front. Benny Diaz grabs it. Just signed, announced at least in the last couple of weeks for the Roots. Coming over from Liga MX, spent some time with Tijuana and Querétaro.
What you have to like from Oakland right now is their ability to find Formella, get him on the ball, even if it's in that middle third. The attention that he attracts from Monterey Bay's defenders, his creativity, the vision. Their ability to find him in the buildup is allowing Carlson to find space to operate as well.
The USL Championship on ESPN moves into April. San Diego Loyal welcomes El Paso Locomotive for an early season showdown Sunday, April 3rd at 5 p.m. Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Here's Boone with the overlap from Donor. Murphy slipped as he tried to keep it alive. Here's Robinson. Now the unquestioned leader of the team, Hugh Roberts, with it on the backside, but given away by Murphy. Frank Yallop touted the leadership of Hugh Roberts. Doesn't necessarily end up as the most vocal guy, or he demands respect, but he has that respect earned from his peers. One minute of stoppage time here at the end of the first half. Azokar.
For Oakland, they're going to see if they can create one more dangerous opportunity here before the half.
Time ticking away at the end of this half, and there's the whistle from Deshaun Beard. He was at the center of things with his call of a penalty kick that allowed Ottar Magnus Carlsen to draw this game level in the 39th minute after Chase Boone's goal in the 8th minute. Early on, Monterey Bay FC the better side, but Oakland responded.
And for Oakland, they're just going to have to solve how to press Monterey Bay just a bit better and really stop them from joining attacks and really opening up that space on the right flank. And for Monterey Bay, it's really just creating more dangerous opportunities in the final third and really that final pass, executing that final phase.
Ends up level at the break here at Laney College. Nice bit of play holding things up by Kone. Better finish by Boone. Wow, every time you look at it, it gets better. Silenced the crowd briefly, but Ottar Magnus Carlsen brought them back into it with the goal in the 39th. It's level at Laney. We're back in a moment.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, penalty!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
So what if Jenny has a new car that plugs in like a vacuum? You have you. Yeah, you. You create your own karma. You, who endured this to save on rent. You, who upcycled your prom suit for your first job interview and still nailed it. You, who went the extra mile to earn extra cash. Now you have Credit Karma, the money app where your hard work can pay off with a new credit card, a new home, or even a new car. And wait till Jenny sees this. Whoa there. Create your own karma with Credit Karma.
I need to try it first.
It says Julie is waiting with my order.
I'm just gonna go in.
We've got to work on the tracking. Oh, good luck.
Take the entire journey with your customer with user testing.
So, was the baguette fresh?
It was spicy.
And the ghost pepper rub?
Empty.
Keep ingredients separate? Here.
Get a taste of your customer's world with user testing.
Halftime brought to you by Anthem Blue Cross. Anthem is transforming healthcare by improving the health of our local communities. It's 1-1 at the break between the Roots and Monterey Bay FC. Look now at the upcoming schedule for the Roots. It's a tough test ahead. They go at New Mexico, home Tampa Bay, and then in the middle there, U.S. Open Cup on the East Coast against Greenville before coming back out west for a couple home games. It's 5 games in 17 days beyond tonight.
And that's going to be where squad rotation is so important for a lot of these clubs and these organizations when you add the U.S. Open Cup as well. So excited to have that tournament back. And then for Oakland Roots, it's really about managing that squad, and then, you know, finding a good balance between those road and home games.
You talk about the road and home games. It's still all road games at the moment for Monterey Bay FC. They go to Sacramento, El Paso, LA Galaxy, and San Antonio next, part of that opening 7-game road trip that Frank Yallop talked about. Wants to get at least 10, 11 points out of that. They maybe had 3 in their grasp in the first half. They let it slip. It's 1-1 at the break, as both teams look to get a number in the win column other than 0. Both starting 0-2, level at 1 here at Laney. We're back in just a moment.
I'm on that routine. I'm on that routine.
Goes topics. I mean, yeah, let's talk about today we're gonna go topics.
Roll it down.
I am.
You don't need a car to listen to Sirius XM. You can listen anywhere. You know that, right?
What? Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio.
Kevin, you could use your phone.
What? What?
Alexa, play Kevin Hart's Laugh Out Loud Radio on Sirius XM.
What?
This is how I know you're getting old. I guess that was it.
What? San Diego Demons!
What's the money? And for a bog! Crash again! There it is! First of the year for San Diego!
And it's into the back of the net! El Paso
For a corner and a 10! What a goal! Are you watching Football Americas?
We're back here in Oakland, where it's 1-1 between the Roots and Monterey Bay FC. We take a break from focusing in on things here and take a broader view around USL Championship with some news and notes, plenty going on around the league at the moment. You've got new teams coming into the fold, new leagues being announced, so much to go over here around the league. The Super League announced the Women's Professional League beginning in 2023 in August to June calendar. By the way, we mentioned it a moment ago, Open Cup, the USL Championship teams enter in this second round, and we welcome Lexington into USL League One. That Super League, though, the August to June calendar, adopting the European model, a big step for USL.
And really just a tremendous addition for women's soccer in the USL Super League. I mean, just excited to see what teams are announced, what the schedule looks like. Obviously, as you mentioned, the August to June calendar, and just continues to the growth of the USL from this summer with the USLW League, USL League 2, USL League 1.
And of course, USL Championship, where we had some scores tonight. Only one team, a low-scoring day, only one team got to the 2-goal mark. That was Colorado Springs in the 2-0 win over Birmingham. 4 1-1 draws. It's an anomaly tonight, and we are 1-1 right now between Oakland and Monterey Bay, so we could be on our way to another one of those score lines. 0-0 between Miami and Loudoun as well. Currently scoreless between Phoenix and San Diego, and scoreless between Las Vegas and Memphis. There was one tie on the opening weekend. We could have all but one game and then a tie tonight. A weird quirk here in week 3 of the USL Championship season. We're back in a moment with half number 2 between the Oakland Roots and Monterey Bay FC.
So what if Jenny has a new car that plugs in like a vacuum? You have you. Yeah, you. You create your own karma. You, who endured this to save on rent. You, who upcycled your prom suit for your first job interview and still nailed it. You, who went the extra mile to earn extra cash. Now you have Credit Karma, the money app where your hard work can pay off with a new credit card, a new home, or even a new car. And wait till Jenny sees this. Whoa there. Create your own karma with Credit Karma.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
When we think about the benefits of East Bay Community Energy, we think about cleaner air, good jobs, lower costs.
Good morning, welcome everyone.
The Scott Haggerty Wind Energy Center gives us a tangible example of how clean energy can deliver local benefits.
There is something wonderful about being part of this historic moment.
We are delivering cleaner, greener, cheaper energy. It's an investment in our future.
You're sharing our vision of providing power for Alameda County residents.
Tonight's match is presented in part by Anthem Blue Cross, User Testing, Credit Karma, UCSF Benioff Children's Hospital, and Coca-Cola. And with that, now we take a look at first half highlights in this one between Monterey Bay and the Oakland Roots. It was 1-1 at the end of 45. And here's how we got the first one.
And really, momentum shifting throughout that 45 here early on, Monterey Bay, and it was really the hold-up play by Kone, and then this one-time strike by Chase Boone was just incredible. Hold-up play here, the link-up here at the top of the 18, and there's just nothing that Benny Diaz could do about this. And this is really where Monterey Bay started to have a lot of success in the build-up play, and then Oakland, they really built in through these set pieces by Charlie Dennis, this being the first of two, and then really just as dangerous on the second one here with Formella really almost just needing to guide that, but sends it over the crossbar. And this is where momentum started to shift into Oakland Roots' favor, and then just really unfortunate for Kai Green and Monterey Bay here, deflection into his left hand, earning Oakland the penalty, and then Carlson, just no doubt, the stutter step, just finishes it to Diaz's left, equalizes for his team, and then really 5 minutes until half. And for Oakland, can they seize that momentum that they had towards the end of that first half and take it here into kickoff into the second?
A little Jorginho in the penalty there for Motor Magnus Carlson. The hesitation on the jump step, let the goalie commit and then tuck it into an empty side of the net. The stats of the first half brought to you by Puma. 60-40 on the possession in favor of the Roots. 5-3 in the shot department in favor of Monterey Bay. Both teams with one shot on goal, each of their goals in that 1-1 score line, as the teams are slowly matriculating back out onto the field. Eric, if you're in the locker room for both teams at the half for Juan Guerra and Oakland, for Frank Yallop and Monterey Bay, what is the chat sounding like?
I think for Juan Guerra and his Oakland Roots side, can you press Monterey Bay just a level higher? Because you saw how uncomfortable Monterey Bay was in the buildup when Oakland had successful press. And then how do you deny Monterey Bay the ability to play in that right flank and catch Azokar out of position because he's joined the attack? So there's nothing from Azokar's, job, responsibility, role as that left back. It's just those moments where he's committed to joining Formella on that left flank, and then that ability to counter for Monterey Bay. And then for Monterey Bay, it's the layers that they're creating when they hit the final third. They're clearly exposing their right flank and that right-sided service. Now it's about not only getting the run of Kone, it's about, we haven't even mentioned Martinez in that first half, and he has to be a player for Frank Yallop that you'd like to see a bit more dangerous there in the final third, whether it's isolating him 1-versus-1 or adding that late run with Kone.
Here come the teams for half number 2. Monterey Bay in the blue from right to left, Oakland in the black from left to right. The man in green, Deshaun Beard, the penalty he called in the 33rd minute allowed Oakland to draw level. And we're just about ready to begin half number 2 here at Laney College. Sellout crowd for the Roots. last played on this field on the final day of the regular season last year. They won by a 1-0 scoreline over Sporting Kansas City to complete the improbable turnaround that saw them make it all the way into the postseason after winning just one of their first 13 games. Remarkable comeback for the Roots. And here we go in the second half with Eric Dobransky. I'm Joe Malfa. Glad you could join us on ESPN Plus. Settle in for 45 more minutes of USL Championship action between the Roots and Monterey Bay FC.
And for both teams, it's going to be how do they navigate really the shift in momentum, because for Monterey Bay, you're going to feel that you should have been going into halftime up 1-0. And for Oakland, and I don't want to say that they are going to feel fortunate to be at 1-1, but it almost gives you new life to be level here to start the second half, because other than those two set pieces by Charlie Dennis, they didn't really create a clear-cut opportunity in the build-up and in that final phase.
As I mentioned, just the one shot on target for both teams. The goal for Monterey Bay. And of course the penalty for Oakland. Here's Carlson looking for Mafeka. Almost another handball against Roberts. First one went against Green.
And you saw it in the first half, and you've already seen it here immediately in the second half for Oakland. It's that ability for either Formella or Carlson to really engage with that back line on the dribble, really force them to commit to step, and it's just almost clipping that ball in behind for Mafeka or Carlson sometimes. And you've seen Rito join the attack as well. So Monterey Bay has dealt with it very well thus far, but it's something that you could see throughout that first half and here early on.
Sulovic got it to Boone. Every time Boone has tried to dribble through traffic, it seems like the ball's attached to his left foot and it somehow bounces right back to him. Over the top down the right side, flag stays down. No trouble there for Diaz. Gleedle was hoping to do better with it. Now space for Eduardo Rito.
Seemed a bit rushed there by Gleedle. Seemed like he had a moment there to just shape it into the run. Kone or Martinez.
Here's Murad. Give and go between Mafeka and Rito.
And to be fair to Oakland, with as many opportunities that they did allow Monterey Bay to have along that right side, they really dealt with services well, really not giving up any dangerous space there. Benny Diaz, controlling his box.
Here's Danny Barbier. Sends one for Rito to run onto. Rito in front. Carlson doubles his pleasure. The Roots go up 2-1.
You talk about a quick strike. Literally 2 passes and you're in. A fantastic ball over the top to Rito. And just an even better timed ball here from Rito to Carlson. Just the timing, the weight, really drawing Monterey Bay defenders. And Carlson, just absolutely no doubt about that finish.
That is a $510 donation to Rising Sun, brought to you by EBCE. Rising Sun is a premier nonprofit organization working at the intersection of economic equity and climate resilience. Only Darek Formella had a goal for the Roots coming into tonight. A 1-0 loss, a 2-1 loss, but now up 2-1 on a pair of goals. Iotar Magnus Carlson, part of this relationship the Roots have with Venezia, expecting another loanee soon from Venezia. For now, just Carlson, one of the lead owners for the Roots, also part owner for Venezia. At the cause of the relationship between the two, and right now the Roots are the beneficiaries.
And now we've seen both halves start out with early goals, but now it's Monterey Bay that has to react and now try to find an equalizer. It's just a fantastic ball over the top that was played into Rito. We saw that in moments in the first half with Rito's overlapping runs.
Now what if you're Frank Yallop? Had an early 1-0 lead. Not only have you seen it slip away, but you've seen your team go down a goal.
Again, I think it's playing through that midfield of Basulovic, Boone, and Murphy. They've proven to be very explosive, both on the dribble and in combination play. And I just thought what was so successful in the first half for Monterey Bay was the hold-up play by Kone, and that's got to be something that just continues here. Even though he's not on the score sheet tonight, he does have that goal against Phoenix Rising.
Chipped in by Carlson. Mafeka in alone. The shot curls in, but the flag prevents any celebration.
And you wonder if it would have been left for Formella if the play would have stayed onside. And that's the sequence that we spoke about to begin the second half that we saw in spurts throughout the first, was that ability to drive at Monterey Bay here.
Dennis to Rito. Rito in front. Had the assist on the second Carlson goal. And now a throw-in for the Roots right next to the corner flag, about as close as you can get without putting it down and kicking it. I don't know if that's what Murad intended, but he got it to Dennis.
We knew when we opened, both teams coming out in a 4-2-3-1, matched up very similarly. We knew that it was going to be a lot of midfield play, decisions, the playmaking, and you could see from Oakland the ability of Hernandez, Visori, Dennis, the confidence to drive into space. When you're able to drive on the dribble, you're really making Monterey Bay defenders, whether it's Roberts or Green or Robinson or Donor, you're asking them to make a decision on whether they step or they just continue to drop.
Diaz just clears. Mafeka to Carlson. Starting to string some passes together and find a comfort level between that attacking trio. Boone switched over to the left side now, attacking exclusively down the right in that first half as the foul is called now against Monterey Bay. Leaves Rito down in some pain.
Looks like that was Robinson on the tackle on Rito. And for Oakland, you found the early second half goal. Manage the upcoming minutes. And don't create any opportunity for Monterey Bay. You saw it in the first half where Oakland was able to really grab momentum with those two corner kick opportunities served in by Charlie Dennis.
Grant Robinson down that left side. He's seen a couple of adventures forward as he attacks from that fullback position. Another one of those Frank Yallop players that he had in Vegas back in the day. Here he is again. Robinson switches. Donor keeps in. And does well to earn a corner out of it as we approach the hour mark.
And the importance of set pieces and corners. Anytime you're the team that's really struggling to regain a rhythm, set pieces could be that opportunity.
Corner lofted centrally. Green complaining that he was held as he tried to jump up. Robinson, secondary ball in, loose. Kone's shot takes a deflection.
Those second chance opportunities on corners are always dangerous because you already have the numbers and the bodies forward inside the 18-yard box.
Second time from the corner. Roberts nearly there. Kept alive by Gleadle. Floats it toward the back post. And that will end that from Monterey Bay.
That was a really good first touch by Gleadle that took him into space. Unfortunately, not the service he was looking for.
Monterey Bay seeing more of the ball in the second half so far. Nearly a 50-50 split after a first half where the Roots saw 60% of it. Question is how much of that coming in the last few minutes after the Roots go up and maybe sit back a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just natural for teams after scoring to absorb a bit more pressure. Sit back just a bit more just to really see out the next 5-10 minutes.
Kone gives it away.
It continues to be that idea in the game that the most dangerous time is 5 minutes after scoring. So really for Oakland, it's navigating those minutes, really not creating chances for Monterey Bay. And obviously would enjoy finding a third as well.
That ball might have gone out before it came back in. Roots will get it back into play. Don't miss any of the action during the 2022 Roots season. Secure your Roots membership today, starting at just $17.25 per game. That's $17.25. And receive exclusive benefits. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more information. Boone. Not a bad ball, hoping for Gleadle. Now Murphy keeps it alive. Defended well by Asokar.
And what Oakland is doing well here in the second half is that applying that first ball pressure, really being purposeful with where they're allowing Monterey Bay to play into. And now for Monterey Bay, it's going to be how do you unlock that next layer, whether it's on the dribble, is it in combination play in the midfield? In the first half, they found a lot of success in making that second defender for Oakland. Whether it was Barbier or Morad, it was asking them to shift over, cover for Azokar, cover for Rito, pulling them out of position.
Some updates from elsewhere in the Western Conference. Las Vegas Lights down 1-0 at the hour mark against Memphis. And just now, San Diego made it 2-0 on the road against Phoenix. A Phoenix team coming off a loss against Vegas last week on the road. Now home against the San Diego side that played in the midweek against Tulsa and rising down 2-0 going into the break. Evan Conway, Kyle Vassell, the goal scorers for San Diego. And the stats paint a bigger picture there for San Diego of total dominance. 8 shots, 4 on target. For Phoenix, 1 shot, none on target nearing halftime. How often in the last couple of years have we seen stats like that from Rick Schantz and Phoenix? The answer is probably never.
In the game in Phoenix. At home for Phoenix Rising.
Monterey Bay preparing some changes as we speak. Christian Valesky getting ready to check in, and it will be Sekou Kone who says goodbye to this one.
And an interesting change for Frank Yallop and his team, because I thought Kone was one of the strengths in the first half. Unfortunately, has been a bit non-existent here in the second. But obviously, Valesky coming in to make an impact right away.
The question is, how will this change the attack from Monterey Bay? Kone, we saw how terrific he was all first half, holding up the play. Valesky maybe brings a little bit of a different style.
And that's what you're hoping for from Frank Yallop. It's clearly Oakland made some adjustments that are preventing Monterey Bay from really finding the opportunities they found in the first half.
Down the left side, Azokar from Formella. Seemed promising at first, but well defended down that right flank. Maury Donor stopped that attack from brewing any further. And now Boone looks for the outlet pass. Valesky spent the last year in Iceland. Prior to that, a couple of years in USL Championship, one with Pittsburgh, one with Colorado Springs. And back a little bit further, some days in St. Louis, Oklahoma, and Rochester as well. 5 USL Championship seasons for him after his time at SIU Edwardsville. But back again after just 1 year abroad in Iceland. Last we saw him in USL, Valesky scored 5 for Colorado Springs in 16 games back in 2020. Best year came with OKC, 9 goals in 22 games. Equaled those 9 goals in St. Louis, but did so in a number of more appearances, 10 more to be exact. Monterey Bay hoping he can recapture that form, and that goes back to our discussion from the first half as far as the team Frank Yallop has assembled. A lot of veterans of the league, guys who maybe had a dip in form, or somebody like Valesky who people forgot about because he went to Iceland for a year. Now he's back and he has a track record of scoring goals in this league. Might take some time for it to all start turning in the right direction. But again, the example, their opponent tonight, Oakland, 1 win in their first 13 last year. They turn around and make the playoffs after a veteran-laden squad gelled and peaked at the right time.
And Frank Yallop, with the various experience and incredible experience he has, he knows exactly what he wants this team to look like, and the pieces that he's started to bring in and will continue to bring in. Again, my question here for the second half still would be, how do you include Martinez into the attack? And he's had to deal with Rito so much coming out of that right back position, and he's had to start so deep, Martinez has, and it's made it very difficult for him to join attacks because he's starting 80, 90 yards away from frame. And maybe that's a part of where Valesky can come in and help, is provide a little bit of rhythm and tempo in the buildup, where if he drops into that pocket in front of the 2 center backs, now you can allow Martinez to join. Now you can allow Gleedle to join.
Danny Barbier picks up the yellow card. Gleedle. Asokar, I have to give him credit. The first goal was scored in behind him, but he has since regained his composure defensively. For a player not playing in his normal spot, it's a new experiment for Juan Guerra. Believes that Asokar could give them a terrific look on that left side going forward if he gains some comfort there. So it's going to come with those growing pains that we saw in the first half, but easing into the game, defending well 1v1 since then. Taken down off the chest by Valesky, lays it off. Chance here for Monterey Bay. Bodies go flying, corner on the way for the visitors. Boone nearly had his second of the game.
And really good emergency defending there by Morad and Fasori. Really dangerous ball played in here by Valesky. And again, the tackle here by Morad and Fasori really saving Oakland in that moment. But to your point, Asokar has done a tremendous job here in the second half. Really has grown into this match. And I think, again, that first ball pressure, that initial pressure is really denying some of the balls they were able to find in that first half.
Murphy's corner, headed by Boone, trickling in, off the post and in. Slowly going across the goal line, everybody turned to look, and they all saw it hit the post and go in. 2 for Magnus Carlson, 2 for Boone. We're level again at Laney.
And Benny Diaz, unfortunately, just had to turn around and watch this ball trickle into the back of the net. And what a performance tonight by Boone thus far. Finding his team the first goal of the game, and now equalizing. And very similar to the way that Oakland was able to gain momentum in the first half, Monterey Bay has done it with a corner kick.
Kudos to our camera operator down on field level, giving us that reverse angle. We saw everybody slowly turn and watch it. The same reaction from everybody as it trickled over to that far post. Would it go wide? Would it go in? It split the difference, went off the post and in.
You could just see that reaction where it was just, they were hopeful that it was going to go wide, and it just did not. And you just give a lot of credit to Boone, his ability to just direct that to that far post.
Set pieces helped turn the tide for Oakland in the first half, and a set piece from the corner helps turn the tide for Monterey Bay in the second half. Again, Boone just last year never really found his way with San Diego. 8 appearances, kept off the score sheet, in and out of the lineup. Prior to that, a couple of years in Denmark. Has a goal-scoring past. at University of Redlands College, scored 34 goals with 25 assists in 88 games. That at the D2 level.
And again, proving to Frank Yallop that he made the right decision in giving him the start tonight.
As a coach, that must feel terrific.
You feel like you pressed the right buttons and you made the right moves.
Down the right flank for Rito, and the flag is up. 70th minute now at Laney College with Eric Dobransky. I'm Joe Malfa. We've been treated to an exciting one tonight on ESPN Plus. 4 goals split right down the middle. 2 for Otar Magnus Carlson, 2 for Chase Boone for Oakland and Monterey Bay respectively. And here we are with 20 to play in a level ball game again.
And what's been fascinating is in each half, each of these teams have found
giveaway. Boone nearly had it. And now Oakland plays out.
Each team has found different ways to get back in the match.
Here's Boone, lays it inside. Opportunity was there for Basulovic to put Monterey Bay back in front. Joseph Nane getting ready to check in for the Roots.
Really, these last few moments, it's just been a little out of sorts for Oakland in the build-up. Some careless turnovers, a little too casual playing through the back. The last thing you need to do is give Monterey Bay any more momentum.
Hernandez, shot out of a cannon to supply the pressure. There he is again. Now Rito. Visore. Rito again. Trying to turn the corner. Splits it back by Martinez, but lost it. Over the top. Valesky in the path of it. Valesky trying to turn, goes down. Waved off immediately by Deshaun Beard. A lot of contact there, but he deems it clean.
Very interesting there. Barbier really asking the referee to make a decision there. Valesky, really good run over the top there. Just unable to separate from Barbier.
And a giveaway by the Roots. Get your Roots fan pack today for the home opener. Rather, for the next game at home on April 2nd at Laney Field against Tampa Bay Rowdies. Limited number of tickets are available. Call 510-488-1144 or visit oaklandrootssc.com/tickets for more information.
I'd be stunned if we didn't see a third goal by one of these two teams.
Matias Visore may be the one on the way out for Joseph Nane. That would be a like-for-like change. Here's Carlson looking for a third. Formella was waiting for it to come down for the volley, and Monterey Bay dispatches it.
This has become a really back and forth matchup. Both teams exchanging opportunities.
Now Formella has runners in the box. Carlson, Mafeka, now Rito joining the party as well. Still Formella, puts it through, nobody home. Visore keeps it alive. Now Rito caught him off balance for a moment. And it deflects off of Rito for a Monterey Bay throw. Here comes the sub. It will be Nane for Fasore, and it looks like Clementa might be coming on as well for Tarek Murad, who just sat down on the turf. A pair of like-for-like changes, that would be. Defensive midfielder for defensive midfielder, center back for center back. And Emra Clementa will be given the captain's armband as he walks onto the field. 15 minutes to go. 2-2 between Monterey Bay and Oakland. Might have a change as well for Monterey Bay.
Really dangerous opportunity there created just a moment ago by Formella. Really Oakland just missing that secondary layer in those runs inside the box. They had all committed to inside the 6-yard box, and there was nobody left there as the trail runner.
Simon Dawkins entering the match on the Monterey Bay side. Comes in for Sam Gleedle. Substitutions tonight powered by East Bay Community Energy. Providing green power at low rates. Visit ebce.org to find out more. So Clementa, Nane in, Fasore, Murad out on the Oakland side. Gleedle out, Dawkins in on the Monterey Bay side. Chuy Enriquez, Johnny Rodriguez, two attacking options off the bench for the Roots. Seem to have just picked up their warm-ups of Tad down in that corner. Might we see one of them on the way in, looking for that third goal. Game number 3 of a season-opening 7-game road trip for Monterey Bay. And for the Roots, their first home game of the season, and a tough road ahead at New Mexico, home to Tampa. A East Coast trip to Greenville in the U.S. Open Cup before coming back and facing San Diego. 5 games in 17 days coming up for the Roots, already 0-2. Near must-win territory for both these teams. Can either side secure all 3 points, or will we split one each?
And that's why you're going to continue to see both of these teams just commit so many numbers to go and try to find this third goal. Just both teams are going to feel that 3 points is a must. As you mentioned, both going into tough road games, road matchups with Monterey Bay, with Sacramento Republic, and as you mentioned, Oakland Roots going in New Mexico.
Road game in New Mexico helped spark the turnaround for the Roots last year. So maybe familiar ground sparks a familiar result. Formella's ball in, a dangerous one. Falls for Asokar, just wide.
Really clever first touch there by Azokar. Really having one thing in mind, which was setting himself up for an opportunity there.
Still 1-0 Memphis over Vegas. Still 2-0 San Diego over Phoenix as they have just begun the second half. Memphis and Vegas kicked off same time as our game. A dozen minutes remaining there as well. So far a topsy-turvy Western Conference as compared to what we remember from last year. El Paso winless. Vegas has wins over Phoenix and El Paso. Phoenix down 2-0 to San Diego. Flipped over the top, Mafeka giving charge, and just inside the line, gathered by Rafi Diaz. Chuy Enriquez getting ready for the Roots. Mentioned before that he and Johnny Rodriguez started to pick up the warm-up a little bit more. It will be Enriquez getting the call.
And again, showing that intent of trying to find this third goal.
Molesky nearly won that from the ground. Diaz, a confident pass on the ground under pressure. Formella, a nifty turn. Now Asokar, Formella continues to run. Asokar a bit indecisive, now lays it off for Nane. Rito in space. Eduardo Rito looking for Magnus Carlsen again. The two combined for goal number 2. At that time, Hugh Roberts gets in the way of it. And here comes the change for the Roots. It'll be Enriquez for Lindo Mafeka. Uneven night for Mafeka. Never really found the rhythm of the game. Not too many opportunities on the ball. They hope for more out of him as a number 10 in a creative role.
Enriquez on the ball. As soon as he enters,
here he is again. Back for Nane. Charlie Dennis ready to whip this one into the area. Curling ball toward the 6. Taken off the chest by Asokar, goes to ground. Free kick on the way for the Roots in a great spot.
and this is absolutely going to be a moment that Oakland's going to want to take advantage of. And you could see clearly Monterey Bay extremely upset with the call because they know how dangerous this can be, especially this late in the match. Just looks like Murphy just clipped Azokar there.
Into the wall on the free kick, ball loose in the box, off of a defender's face, and play is stopped immediately. Sean Beard waving the trainers out for a possible head injury. That one had a lot of velocity on it as it caught Roberts in the face.
And it's a play that typically elicits a lot of opposing players kind of throwing their hands up asking why the play is stopped dead, but you have to in these situations. You have to make sure anytime there's a play that involves contact with the head, you have to make sure the player's okay. And like you mentioned, that ball was traveling with quite a bit of velocity. Just an unfortunate take on the set piece. Really not even challenging Diaz, the goalkeeper.
Trainer out there stuffing the nose with some cotton balls. Looking to stop the bleeding. Here's another look as that play transpired. Clearance right here, just friendly fire. Robinson tried to clear. Roberts, wrong place, wrong time. Well done by Deshaun Beard, stepping in immediately, recognizing it and stopping it.
Yeah, you initially thought that it was going to become a second chance opportunity for Oakland Roots. And as you mentioned, friendly fire.
Well, Roberts wants to continue. Official attendance here at Laney tonight, 5,508. Over sellout capacity for the Roots in their home opener. And a crowd that is hoping for a winner as well in the final few moments. KTVU Plus is the official television partner for the Oakland Roots. It's also your home for Fox 2 News at 7 p.m., live and local every weeknight.
It's really good to see the trainer give Frank Yallop and his coaching staff the thumbs up that Hugh Roberts is able to continue.
Magnus Carlson nearly got to that. Just a few minutes to go at the end of this one. We saw an absolutely terrific strike from Boone to open the scoring. A penalty from the Roots to tie. A nice bit of passing buildup. That saw 2 or 3 quick passes for the Roots before Carlson doubled his tally. And then Boone, a header that slowly rolled to the far post and bounded in to tie things at 2 goals apiece. 4 very different goals in this one.
Definitely got our variety of goals tonight. See if Boone or Carlson can one-up each other. Both sitting on 2 goals.
There's Valesky winning it. Only briefly, Basulovic couldn't keep it alive. Now the counter on for the Roots. Space for Asokar. Enriquez making a darting run into the box.
Really well defended there by Monterey Bay. That's where Formella's been so dangerous throughout this match, is that 1v1 isolation, his ability to drive to that end line. It's always interesting to see how each team really attacks the final moments of matchups, because you have to think that there's, obviously with the Hugh Roberts injury, you're gonna think that there's gonna be at least 3 to 4 minutes of added time.
Clipped in centrally. Dawkins lays it back. Basulovic attempt blocked. Enriquez with fresh legs and some space. Julian Enriquez continues the run. Caught out by Martinez. Back the other way. Valesky foot race with Diaz. Clemente didn't quite get enough on that pass back. Martinez is fouled by Nane. I think he is trying to clearly illustrate it was his shoulder, but I don't know, it might have gotten it up just a bit. Very physical play from Nane.
And it really seems like an unnecessary challenge by Nane. Really nothing dangerous was gonna come of it. And any time you just really show and dip that shoulder in, and we talked about navigating these last few moments, you're giving Monterey Bay an opportunity to set up a set piece here.
It'll be Murphy on the service. Watch out for Boone. 2 goals already. 1 came with his head. Sent toward that back post. And it's centrally Roberts! Bloody nose and all! Gives Monterey Bay the lead in the 90th minute.
And why not Hugh Roberts. Far post delivery, sent back in. We saw it in the first half, Roberts' ability to get free on set pieces. And somehow Oakland just loses track of him on that second ball. And unlike the first half where he sent the header over the bar, finds the back of the net, puts his team up 3-2.
Three seasons with Charlotte. A staple on their back line. Comes over now to Monterey Bay to be the leader, to be the captain. How do you lead? By example. A potential winner in the 90th minute. There are 5 minutes of added time for the Roots to try and get it back. But Monterey Bay FC could be on their way to the franchise's first ever victory. Up 1-0, down 2-1, now up 3-2 for the visitors.
And I don't want to put too much focus on the foul by Nane, but just unnecessary to give Monterey Bay a set piece there. You still have to defend it though. You still have to not lose track of runners. And those set pieces where you clip a ball, a service into that far post, and you look for that second ball sent back in, you have to be aware of those. You have to have those areas covered.
Oakland trying to get it back at the back post. Enriquez tried to chest it down, and a corner on the way. An unlikely source on that goal as well for Roberts. Just 11 goals in his USL Championship career going back to 2014. This his 9th season as a center back. Could do it on set pieces, and he found a timely moment for it. Roots corner dealt with. Hernandez battling through. Back for Hernandez, shot blocked. Corner from the other side for Oakland. They're not gonna go down quietly. This game has had so many twists and turns. Can they initiate one more? Charlie Dennis. Not the best ball, still alive. Hernandez. Blocked again. Look at the effort defensively from Monterey Bay. Nothing clean through from the Roots. Everything blocked, everything directed away from goal. Jiro Barriga Toyama entered the match for Grant Robinson after the goal. Juan Guerra said there wasn't a rivalry yet between these teams. Last year when Sacramento came into the league, there was already bad blood with the Roots before the season began. Not the case this time. Amicable relationship between Monterey Bay and Oakland coming in. You get a game like this to start things off, and that is going to light the fire going forward. It was Basulovic who picked up that yellow a moment ago. And now everybody getting in on the party. Murphy picks up a yellow. Good time to maybe remind that when the Roots first played Sacramento last year, the inaugural meeting in that rivalry finished 3-3 in a wild game. New local rival against Monterey Bay, 3-2. Some time left. Could we see lightning strike twice with that same final scoreline? Oakland beat the whistle on the throw. They'll do it again. About a minute and a half to go of the stoppage time that was awarded.
I've got to imagine that there's going to be another minute or so added. Really just so many ebbs and flows to this game. Exchanging leads. Shifting momentum.
We've been tied at 0-0, 1-1, and 2-2. Do we get to 3-3? Collision leaves Diaz down. Play continuing and now stopped by the official. Another potential head injury on the collision. Comes in to stop it. Formella trying to lift him up. Those two were teammates last year in Sacramento.
And this is going to be Deshaun Beard looking to protect Diaz as he goes into this collision. But you could see the frustration from the Oakland Roots side. As they saw this sequence as something that could be productive and dangerous. And it does look like they need a substitution for Diaz.
Dallas J, the backup keeper.
Clearly something with that right shoulder for Diaz.
Dallas J scrambling to get dressed and get in. You see the 5 in the top left corner of your screen. Ignore it. With the injury clearly blowing by the stoppage time that was given. Best I could do for you, Diaz went down at about 94:20. So maybe a minute left once we resume play.
Well, then you had the delays with the yellow card to Basulovic and Murphy.
They will just be at the liberty now of Deshaun Beard whenever that final whistle may blow. So here's the thing that I believe is brewing down on the sideline. Monterey Bay has only used 3 subs. You have 5, but you only have 3 windows. So they're going to have to put a field player in goal. Chase Boone is going in goal for Monterey Bay to see this one out. Don't know how much time is left. Depends when the whistle blows. That man has 2 goals tonight, and he will now be tasked with trying to stop it. You see the reaction from him. Just a wry smile, a shrug of the shoulders. That's not Dallas J. You see it on the back of the jersey, the name. It's Chase Boone.
We're just seeing everything tonight.
5 goals, a pair of lead changes, tied at 3 separate scores, 0-0, 1-1, 2-2. They use their 3 sub windows. So they have to put Boone in goal, and they'll play it down a player in the field.
Incredible. And obviously it's got to be something that's discussed, and you know, you usually go through and say if plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, you've obviously hit through all of those plans, and now, like you said, you're going to play a player down on the field, and Chase Boone is now the goalkeeper.
And it's anybody's guess when the final whistle blows. Again, like we said, there was about 40 left on the clock when Diaz went down. To your point, there were those other stoppages with the yellows and another injury. Anybody's guess when Deshaun Beard blows the whistle. See if Oakland can get any opportunities to test the field player in goal, or if Monterey Bay can successfully take this one to the corner and bring it to the end.
Right now, Oakland's just going to look for one more chance, as you mentioned, to try to test Boone. But they're going to have to make it happen very quickly. But I could also see Deshaun Beard adding an additional 2 or 3 minutes here.
Anyone's guess. Hernandez gives it away, but it bounds out to Asokar instead. Nane in the middle. Cleared by Roberts. Chested it from the ground almost, it appeared. Defending any way you can. Bariga Toyama gives it away now for Dennis. Top of the box, Formella deflected. Can the Roots get something through with Boone in goal? field player for Monterey Bay, approaching the 100-minute mark. Foul against Monterey Bay, not yet the final whistle. Here's Hernandez.
And obviously, unfortunately, this means the injury to Diaz is serious. You hope that he's okay, but Monterey Bay doing a tremendous job thus far.
Dennis, backside of the box for Mella. As it skim over his head. Is that gonna do it?
They've denied any opportunities for Oakland to test Boone.
Maybe one last attack for the Roots. Barbier bombs it forward. Eduardo Rito there. Now Dennis. Hernandez. Back for Dennis. Look at all those black jerseys in the box. Dennis sends it that way at the back post over everybody.
That's a disappointing service because you really want to put it into an area.
Boone gets the goal kick off. When will the whistle come?
You have to wonder if Deshaun Beard has communicated with Oakland on how long.
Hernandez, maybe one last chance. Final whistle. Monterey Bay FC with the franchise's first ever win in USL Championship, and it's one they won't soon forget. Back and forth affair, a 90th minute winner from the captain, Hugh Roberts.
What an incredible first matchup. Unfortunate result for Oakland Roots, but what a performance by Monterey Bay.
Finishes with a field player in goal for Monterey Bay. This is one you tell your grandkids about. Back and forth affair. Boone had 2 goals. Roberts the winner in the 90th minute. They came from behind Monterey Bay FC on the road to pick up the franchise's first victory. We need to take a breath. We're back in a moment to wrap this one up from Laney College. The visitors get all 3 points.
It doesn't matter how hard you play, practice, or compete, as long as you do it together.
1, 2, 3, party!
That's why Anthem Blue Cross and Oakland Roots teamed up and took on food insecurity, improved physical and mental health through coaching clinics and mental health panels, and spoke out for social justice. We're committed to continuing our work to improve the lives and health of our community together. Visit oaklandroots.com/anthem to learn more.
I need to try it first.
So much action to unpack from Laney College here in Oakland, California tonight. Monterey Bay FC wins it 3-2 on the road. Eric, it's up to you to bring us through these highlights, man. There's a lot to sort through.
and it started early here with Chase Boone, and really the link-up play with Kone here, and just absolutely no doubt about this left-footed strike. He was dangerous throughout the first half. Obviously with the 2 goals tonight, but really good response from the Oakland Roots. It really started to put a lot of pressure. Unfortunate bounce here for Kai Green and Monterey Bay, conceding the penalty late in the first half. Carlson, who had 2 goals of his own tonight, really good penalty take there, equalizes for his team. They go at 1-1 into the break, and then right to start the second half, fantastic ball played into Rito, even better patience, and a terrific finish by Carlson. And you really thought this was going to shift momentum and keep momentum with Oakland Roots, because even after this goal, they just continued to pressure. They continued to really ask questions of Monterey Bay. And just like Oakland Roots in the first half, Monterey Bay using a set piece to get back into this matchup, as you see Chase Boone with his second goal of the night, with the slightest deflection there, and all Diaz can do is turn and watch it go in. And then they use the second set piece here, ball back in, and Hugh Roberts, the captain, finds the game winner. What an unbelievable performance by Frank Yallop's side.
And remember, he was off the field moments prior. 10-2 for a bloody nose, comes on, scores the goal. A wild one tonight. Final stats brought to you by Puma. 60-40 in possession for the Roots, 10-8 in shots for Monterey Bay, 4-2 in shots on target for Monterey Bay, and 3-2 on the scoreboard for the visitors. The first ever win in their history. They begin the season with a 7-game road trip. They lost the first 2, they win the third. And for the Oakland Roots, they are now 0-3 on the season with a tough road ahead. They'll need to battle out of that in a midweek matchup with New Mexico United. That'll do it for us tonight from Laney College in Oakland, California. What a night it was, back and forth. It ends up as a 3-2 win for Monterey Bay FC. My broadcast partner Eric Dobransky and the crew that makes this possible, I am Joe Malpa saying good night from Oakland.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.